welcome back to my channel. If you are new here and like the video, be sure to hit the like and subscribe button for more content. Thank you for watching.
Hello everyone and welcome to the first day of the fall marathon. I genuinely have no time for intros and outros considering this video was supposed to be out yesterday. I am all over the place and so just bear with me. I promise after this week I will get my intros and outros back in place. Anyways, I have finally gotten to that Barista AU that I've been wanting to do for the longest of time, and here we are with some Iwaizumi Angst, something to just start the fall marathon. Now with this marathon, at the end of the video, so in the outro, I will be asking a question that I would like you to comment just so that it could be a little bit more interactive. Let's just go ahead and get into this. It was a beautiful day. The sun was shining, but not in an overbearing way that would make your skin feel like it was melting off. It had the perfect amount of overcast that didn't make it seem like it was about to have a major downpour, and the cool breeze was enough to breathe in the sweet oxygen that the world provided. Autumn truly was a beautiful season. Nothing could ruin this day. Being new to the area, it didn't seem like Iwaizumi would ever fit in, but he didn't need to fit in to enjoy his college life. He was studying to become an athletic trainer, that way he could still somewhat be involved in the sport he grew up loving. Besides, having a fresh start was what was best for him. After living a difficult life in the Miyagi Prefecture, moving to Tokyo to further his education was just what he was needing. He was supported through scholarships that covered everything, including his own life expenses and monthly allowance for essentials like groceries and ways for transportation. So money was never an issue. As long as he was responsible, he primarily only had to focus on school and his studies. Now, he was on his way to the library to use the space to study and catch up on some homework, which he admits he was quite behind on. He inwardly cringed seeing the sign plastered over the glass doors of the library that just so happened to be locked. Remodeling? He clicked his tongue, turning back. This meant he had to search for a new place, for however long the remodeling was taking place. What a great time to be awkward. While he could go home and study, his internet was never the best, so he always preferred to go to the library. For obvious reasons, that was no longer an option. Just when he thought about turning around and dealing with the slow service at home, his olive green eyes caught a glimpse of a small store. It was a coffee shop, very small for the city, but aesthetically pleasing for the season. He saw a sign with neat handwriting listing the daily specials and limited edition beverages. He walked in with nothing left to lose, plus some caffeine sounded nice. Immediately, the smell of espresso and coffee beans hit him in a wave of comfort. He stared at the display case, looking at the flaky pastries that made the air fill with a buttery aroma that made him salivate. Hello, welcome! Iwaizumi looked up to see a waiter carrying a tray full of mugs of coffee, taking it to a table. Sorry, I'll be there in just a moment. No worries, take your time. He couldn't imagine working as a barista, and he definitely wouldn't want someone rushing, tripping, and then getting hurt on his account. Looking at him now, the waiter was very attractive. He had a slim physique, with gray locks framing his face. Even still, he looked young. Worn out, but young. Sorry about that. What can I get for you today? His attention was turned to another man. He was much taller than him, but as much as he didn't like to admit, it wasn't hard to beat his height. He had short brown hair which was messy and deep brown eyes. His white long-sleeve button-up shirt was pulled up to his elbows with the top 2 buttons undone. It was an attractive sight. Was this coffee shop Iwazumi's gay dream? He looked at the name tag on his shirt. Daichi. That's alright. Honestly, I have no idea. Do you have any recommendations? Daichi seemed to beam at the question, like he had been waiting for this all day. I have quite a few favorites, although I don't think you look like the typical seasonal kind of guy. You would be correct. He laughed. It was true. Pumpkin spice just never sat right to him. The waiter leaned back, pondering on what he thought would be best. Would you prefer hot or cold? Definitely hot. With the cool weather and his stressed mind, warm beverages always seemed to calm him down while staying awake to complete his assignments. You look more of a hazelnut cream person. I'll take that then. Great. Iwazumi noticed the corner of his eyes wrinkle whenever he smiled, which was absolutely adorable. And what size? Large, please. They laughed together this time. Alright, 1 large hazelnut cream latte coming right up. And what's the name? Iwazumi. He continued to stare like he wanted him to continue without physically asking. Iwazumi Hajime. He smiled again. You stole my customer. The brunette laughed, seeing the waiter from before slap Daichi upside the head. I didn't know he was your customer. He laughed, suddenly feeling very shy. Sorry about that wait from before. We are super short-staffed. That's alright. I could only imagine. My name is Sugawa. Most people just call me Suga though, so if you need anything, please let me know to make up for that wait. Thank you. Is there any specific seating, or... Take a seat anywhere you'd like. He nodded his head, turning away from the 2 waiters, finding a comfortable seat in the corner of the store where there was an outlet. Perfect spot to sell in the cities. After a few minutes passed, Daichi came by with his order, placing his drink and a pastry down on the table. I didn't order a... I know, but I saw you basically drooling over it earlier, and this is our way of apologizing for the wait. Plus, you need some brain food for that. He pointed to his laptop and open notebook. Although, getting caught made him feel embarrassed. Well, thank you. I'll definitely enjoy it. It smells and looks great. I hope you enjoy it. I will. He stopped, looking at the half apron that was tied at his waist. He wore black pants that seemed to barely fit and about to burst at the seam. Holy shit. He slammed his hand to his mouth, realizing he said that out loud. What? He looked down, trying to see the same thing the latter did. Oh, sorry, nothing. He blushed, not wanting to admit how thick his waiter's thighs were out loud. Daichi laughed. It was deep and soothing. He was called off to help another customer. Iwazumi looked at the pastry in front of him and smiled. He looked up, seeing another stunning man run through the door, tying an apron around his waist. The commotion made Suga turn around and started scolding him. Oikawa, you're late. Sorry, I woke up late. He laughed, but the latter grabbed his ear. No excuse, grab those orders. Oikawa giggled and kissed Suga on the cheek. Yes, my dear. Iwazumi blushed, looking back down. That was hot. Looking back at the laptop and pastry, something told him that he would be coming here again. And he was right. He became a regular. He came to the shop almost every day to study, and even got close to all the employees. They were all super young, his age. While Okawa was the only one to attend school, Sugara is taking a break to focus on making money, and Daichi decided against furthering his education. That wasn't even the shocking part. The three of them were actually in a polyamorous relationship together. Daichi is the young owner after getting the business after his family had an unfortunate accident right when he turned 18. Luckily, he was able to meet the right requirements to keep the business alive, and his two boyfriends were willing to support him through it all. Daichi wanted to become a police officer when he grew up and take on the business after his parents retired, but it seemed like life had other things in store for him, and that was okay. In a way, Daichi wasn't given a choice for his future. After his parents passed away, he didn't want the business dying out, so knowing this, Iwazumi looked up to him. "So, are you gay?" The random remark that pulled him from his thoughts made him choke on his coffee and go into a coughing fit. "What?" "Easy, Iwa-chan. Don't die on us." Oikawa laughed, rubbing his back. "Sorry, you just caught me off guard." The Raven took another drink to ease his now sore throat. "But are you?" "Pansexual, yes." Of course he knew the answer to the question. He'd known for as long as he could remember, even before he figured out what being pan meant. While he was open about it, he also didn't publicly announce it. He made the mistake of doing that once. That's a mistake he won't do again. Really? I wouldn't have imagined that. What? You don't think I am, or it doesn't suit me? Seems pretty homophobic to me. He laughed while Okawa gasped. I'm as gay as they come. Me? Homophobic? That's hilarious. The former ace rolled his eyes, ready for Oikawa to go through a dramatic rant, but he didn't. I didn't mean it like that, though. I kind of assumed you were straight. Assumption is never the way to go. What did we miss? Both Suga and Daichi bought their own to-go cups of coffee and sat at the table. He's one of us! Oh my god. He's a gay! Wait, really? We thought you were straight. Iwazumi scoffed. Why does everyone think that? Do I really look that straight to you? Sugawara thinned his lips, looking at Okawa. Well, unbelievable. The group erupted in laughter that Iwazumi couldn't refuse to join in. It was cut short when the Raven's phone rang. The number wasn't saved into his phone, but he knew that number by heart. Aren't you gonna get that? He didn't respond, just continued to stare blankly at his phone, letting it ring. Almost immediately, the laughter died out completely. The three baristas stared at Iwazumi with worry. Iwa. He shot up in response when the call ended simultaneously. Sorry. He gathered his things and grabbed his phone. I should go. Wait. Oikawa stopped him by grabbing his wrist. What's wrong? Iwazumi resembled a deer in the headlights. His frightened expression made him feel out of place and foreign. Let go. While they haven't known Iwazumi for long, this wasn't the same Iwazumi, not the one they knew. Many days passed. Since their last encounter, Iwazumi hadn't come back to the shop. He sat at his desk at home, doing homework instead, until he received a call again. It was the same number. He hesitantly picked it up, knowing he can't run from his past any longer. I guess starting fresh was never really an option. He got up, leaving out the front door and answering the call. Hello? Finally, you answered. He stared up at the sky, wanting some sign would pull him from the phone. It was dark, cloudy. Maybe the rain that was coming would wash him and his problems away. Wishful thinking. Yeah, I've been busy with school. He heard a sigh on the other line of the phone. You were never like this before. What's changed? And you can't use college as an excuse. What he wouldn't do to have either of his friends with him right now. Daichi was always a quick decision maker. He would know what to do. Oikawa would make the situation more lighthearted. Suga would most certainly know how to cover him and give whoever who was on the phone hell. Each one of them were so perfect in their own little way, the thought of them made his heart ache. Why did it hurt so bad being away from them? Are you making any friends? Or maybe a girlfriend? His eyes widened. Did he like them? No, he couldn't. Right? No. Why are you being so cold to me? To your own mother. Why did he do this? This was a mistake. I have a lot of assignments to catch up on. I'll talk to you later. Don't give me that BS, Hajime. It takes me weeks to get a hold of you. I have exams coming up. He stepped outside of his property line, walking down the sidewalk of his neighborhood. That's a petty excuse. This isn't about that thing, is it? Is that why you've been ignoring me? He sat down at a park bench with no one near. At least that way he could get criticized in peace. At least I'm trying now. That's gotta count for something. She smacked her lips, making Hajime inwardly cringe. I just don't understand why you're being such an ungrateful brat. At least say something. You want me to say something? He felt pressure building behind his eyes, and he hated himself for it. You destroyed me. You made me feel like I was nothing. Like I was disgusting, filthy, trash. You made me feel like my entire existence was a sin. You made me hate everything about myself. My grades, my appearance, my sexuality, everything. He wasn't sure if anyone was listening, and frankly, he didn't even care anymore. He got up and started pacing back and forth, feeling the first of the raindrops fall on his bare arms. I'll have you know I am not that weak kid you knew anymore. I'm stronger than I was before. I'm not weak. It's true. The old him would have let this continue for much longer and take the criticism, but now he is standing up for himself. Like he should have from the start. I've come far, and I think I did hell of a job. I graduated high school and got into an amazing university. I'm living on my own. I don't have a job, but I manage a once-in-a-lifetime scholarship through my own hard work and managing my own studies. And all of that was by me, and no thanks to you, because you never supported me, or was even there for that matter. The line was silent. His spiky hair was now damp from the rain that drizzled from the dark clouds. You had 20 years. 20 whole years. I gave you so many chances. And you blew them all like they were nothing. He took a deep breath. This was it. This was his breaking point. He was done. You gave birth to me, but you are not my mother. Don't contact me again. Before he could hear her response, he hung up the call, sinking to the ground and running his tired hands through his locks. He did it. He finally did it. He was free. Hajime? Alright, that was fun. Cliffhanger, I hope you enjoyed that part. But not to worry, because usually you'd have to wait a week. The second part will be uploaded tomorrow, so you don't have to wait nearly as long. Just to make this marathon a little bit more interactive for all of my lovely viewers, I will be asking a question for each day this marathon takes place, which will be 5 questions. This will be completely optional, so not to worry if you choose not to participate. So for the first day, what is your favorite tradition to do in autumn? It can also be your favorite thing, whether it is just the cooler weather, the time change, fall break, pumpkin spice. Honestly, it is quite a bit, so just comment below. Thank you for watching. As always, if you like to be kept up to date, check out any of my social medias. I hope that you all have a wonderful day or evening.